Hello, 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 and welcome back to another episode of Minding My Damn Business. I'm so happy to have you all here. Let me introduce myself. I am B Wise, and I am what I call a former full-time employee turned full-time entrepreneur. And I'm just an overall fun, witty girl who is out here living intentionally to create the life that I want. And so tonight I have a guest who I call a friend. I mean, I've known this young lady for years. She's a peer, she's a colleague, she's a thought leader. She has stayed in her lane that she has actually created. I have with me tonight the Danielle Baker. She is a model coach. She is a fashion show producer, and she is the founder of Model Behavior University. See, let me tell y'all something. The Danielle Baker been a whole mood way before there was a hashtag mood, hashtag vibe. Before all that, it was the Danielle Baker. So let me go ahead and bring this girl on.
Hey, B. Yeah.
You know, every time we get together, it's a whole, and we don't even be getting together like that. We get together like what, once every 5-6 years.
I know that's too long in between. It's too long in between. But we catch up. We start from where we left off at.
Exactly. Like no time missed.
Right. We ain't missed no time.
So matter of fact, when did we meet? Has it been about 20 years?
Oh my gosh.
We met through that Women of Power thing, right?
We did. That's what we met. We met with the Women of Power series that was going on downtown.
Okay, so that wasn't that long. Maybe about 10, 12 years ago.
At least 10. It's definitely at least 10.
Yeah.
I'm probably have to give you about 12 or 13.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so when we met, the whole The Danielle Baker brand was like starting, right?
Yep. I had branched off. I was doing Signature Ink Modeling Company, but then I was starting to do a lot of projects on my own that needed to become its own entity.
Okay. Right. Yeah. So I want to, and look, like I had to show up tonight, like, because Danielle is in the fashion industry, like, and, I show up. But when Danielle's in the room, you gotta like show up. I had to show up. I got the earrings. I always got the glasses. But
right.
So look, tell us what you do.
Yeah. So hey guys, I am the Danielle Baker, international model coach, model booker, and fashion show producer. So I help models with branding, posing, and runway development. But I'm also a brand strategist for creators and entrepreneurs.
Nice. So tell us, like, where are you from? Where did you grow up? How did you get into this lane of fashion and models, and like how did all of that come about?
Yes, so born and raised in Baltimore, Maryland. Believe it or not, yes, this is my hometown. Absolutely love it. Every time I try to get away from it, it seems like I'm right back here. But born and raised in Baltimore, Maryland. My mom put me into modeling at the age of 6. She actually put me in a bunch of different things, but modeling was the one that kind of stuck out for me. So she put me into modeling at the age of 6. I was that little girl that would watch beauty pageants and be like, oh my God, I want to be a beauty queen. I want to get one of those crowns. This is where I want to see, this is what I want to do. My mom just started putting me in a whole bunch of things. And by the time I turned a teenager, I was like, this is it. I want to be a model. Like, I want to go full blown out as a model. And then my mom started to take me to agencies. And this is when things got really brutal, because agencies would say, I'm too short, my cheekbones too high, and my eyes too chinky to be a model. So as a teenager, that literally slipped me into depression, because this is a time that you're developing, you're trying to learn yourself, all that's going on. And you got grown people telling you that no, this is not what we're looking for. The industry is not going to be looking for you. You just don't meet the requirements, you know? So that slipped me into depression for a while when it comes to like who I thought I was, who I wanted to be, you know, how I felt about myself, what my self-esteem was and confidence level. But by the time I turned 21, I started my first business for models of all shapes, sizes, heights, and cultures. And I stepped out on the scripture, you know, that we're all fearfully and wonderfully made. Like, who could really be against what God creation was? I know that I wasn't the only one feeling like that. I wasn't the only one feeling like, how am I too short? You know, people want to see people that look like them. So that's what made me start Signature Ink Modeling Company for models of all shapes, sizes, heights, and cultures. And let me tell you, in 2002, talking about anything that was over a size 5 and anything that was shorter than a size, height-wise, 5'9", you were looked upon crazy. like you something's mentally wrong with you. That's not a model, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, so minding my damn business, right, is focused around this one word of mindset. And I'm talking to people who use the power of their mindset to win.
Yeah.
And so, Signature Ink Models has now progressed and grown into what?
Yeah. So now it has grown in 2000. So that started in 2002. In 2010, I was already starting to take kids. And from there, I realized that more and more parents wanted to get their kids in. And I was like, well, Signature Ink really isn't the brand for the kids. So I had to end up starting another brand, which is Girls Glam Fashion and Modeling Program. And it's basically events, summer camps, it's seasonal. So we do that on a seasonal basis for girls ages 5 to 17. So that's what happens with that. So that started in 2010. So this is like a branch off underneath of Signature Ink. By that time, I had started branding myself as the Danielle Baker. And then when I wrote my books, Model Behavior, so it's 2 books that came out. Model Behavior, Get Coach, Get Booked, Get Paid for models that's in the modeling industry. But then Model Behavior, Your Life is Your Runway for the everyday woman, the everyday person, right? So then when that came out, I branched into Model Behavior University, where it is literally the foundation of helping models develop to become their own brand, to get signed with agencies, to be able to get to their own bag. Like, stop waiting on these brands and agencies and people to dictate. You can create your own platform and be your own brand. So that's what it kind of like manifested into. And then it's still not over yet, because it's still stuff coming down the pipe. Okay.
Right. And so the models that you bring on and you coach and you mentor, you pretty much are like diverse based off of that experience you had with, as a child, and this being what you wanted to do. And then you end up trying to pursue it. And then you have a bunch of people speaking from their limitations, their level of limitations. That's what I always say, that kind of discouraged you. But you okay, watch me work. So tell everybody real quickly, like, the success, because I've been watching this journey.
Yeah.
So tell everybody about
yours too, B. Don't even try, y'all. She's a little humble, but listen, she is not to be played with.
I'm trying to tell people, so I just be going to my little corner, but
your whole empire.
But talk about the success these models are getting.
Yes. So with the success of the models, first of all, because I work inside out, it's literally building their confidence to a level. The things that they're learning with me is lifelong principles. You can take it anywhere. And, whether it's feeling good about yourself, figuring out who you are, how to affirm yourself, how to create your own path, going back to that mindset and different things that you should put in line mentally so that you can really reach your goals. So that part of success is like number one. When a model is feeling good about their self, when they feel like they have, created an image, or they have walked into or got a chance to really know their being, that is a big deal, especially in the lost world that we live in. So that's always number one. And then from there, it's like, okay, now who else believe in you? Who else feel like that you can work for their brand? Who else want to already get attached to your vision that's going to book them? So the bookings is secondary. Do you know who you are? Do you have that clarity? Are you able to put out and attract these things that you really want? So being sure of yourself and building that confidence and having clarity is really the number one thing. And then other stuff is going to come.
Yes.
Yeah.
I speak big about focus, clarity.
Yes.
The distractions, like mind your damn business. This other stuff, like what people are saying, what people are thinking, what people are placing you into based off of what they never were. That ain't got shit to do with you. Mind your business and get the work.
Just get the work.
So no models get booked and get bags. That's what I'm gonna call it. Get booked and get bags. What like talk about the agencies and the type of work that they're getting.
Yeah,
coming through.
So I mean, I personally booked models with Nike, Adidas, New Balance. I've booked models for different fashion weeks across the world, from London to Paris Fashion Week, New York Fashion Week, Miami Fashion Week. So the different fashion weeks that's really going to make a difference. LA Fashion Week. I've also had models to book with big brands, big brands when I'm talking about on the curvy, side of things, because a lot of people feel like, oh, well, when you get to a certain size, like the curvy lane, some people call it curvy, plus size, full figure, that lane is really, truly opening up. We still got a long way to go, but it's opening up now. Petite models being able to get campaigns, it's opening up now. So, different beauty brands, being able to work with different beauty brands, sports brands, couture, lingerie brands, all of these things make a different now here in the world that we're living in the time that we're living in. But when it comes to agencies, I will say this: agencies are opening up because they don't have a choice to. They're forced to, because influencers are now taking over a large part of agency business. And this is where models have to really catch this part of becoming their own brand. Some of them get so stuck in years of submitting to agencies that's not going to pick them, that they're missing out on years of they could have created something and been getting booked this whole time, becoming an influencer, because the influencers are dominating the industry right now. Dominating. So now modeling agencies are forced to put them on their boards, meaning having a category for them, signing influencers now, because big brands are going to influencers directly. So cutting out that whole agency fee and all of this stuff. A benefit for a model is if I sign with an agency and they already have relationships with the brands I want to work with, that's your plus, that's your win. But if you build your career as an influencer, you can still get the best of both worlds, because those brands are now coming directly to influencers. It's magical.
And to start in 2002, right, and then to come to now, I'm pretty sure you've seen so much, turnover, because it's such a aggressive, industry. It's like fight or flight, is sink or swim, and without that tenacity, right, you got to just keep like that resilience, like, you hit that one door, you like, okay, next, while you still peeking at this other one, like, but you still going forward to that next one. And so, the thing with meeting success, whether it's your models or you personally, the thing that people don't understand is there are like hurdles, right? And
Mhm.
these, what I, in my personal opinion, these are like your tests to see, because when you walk in the purpose, you kind of know, you feel it every day, like you wake up, you
Yeah,
excited, but then you're tested to make sure that you have that endurance to.
absolutely.
And so I want you to talk about like, and because people need to realize, like, just because that hurdle comes, or just because that's this that no, or the plan didn't work out, or it seemed as if it was going to be it, and then, oh, no, it's not it. You just got to keep
Keep going.
going, right? You don't stop. You don't just completely take the goal off the table. You got to change direction.
Yeah.
So tell us about a time where you were like, in the thick of it, and the shit just felt like I'm being depleted. I don't know, but you just fought through, and then what that next, how that outcome
Woo.
was.
I actually got, now that you say it like that, I mean, I got a few examples, but I'm going to take you to the beginning. My first year in business, 2002, I was saying to myself, okay, starting this modeling company for all shapes, sizes, heights, and cultures. When they say you go in business, you should be birthing a business that's in need. Like it's a need. I felt like, yes, this is a need. We don't have this. But I remember being at this one event, sister event down in DC, and Brandy was the headliner person that was speaking that day, or guest speaker. And that brought out a ton of celebrities, marketing directors, executives, boards. I mean, a lot of people were there. A lot of the who's who between fashion and the music industry was there. And it took a lot to even get at a table with some people that you could really rub elbows with. And I just remember somebody switching seats with me, and which was an honor. I was able to switch seats with someone because who was at my table, she wanted to really talk to, and who she was sitting with, I wanted to talk to. So it worked out, and I was able to talk to different people, and they was asking me about my business and what I was doing and everything. So I was like gung ho excited, like, I had pictures of my models. I'm showing them bang, 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 all shapes, sizes, this, that, and third. I was so proud. It was like my greatest accomplishment got crushed in 10 seconds. When they begin to talk about not reinventing the wheel of the modeling industry, they started to tell me that, I would never, my models would never get hired. People would look at me as a joke if I'm trying to book models of all shapes, sizes, heights, and cultures. They told me I would never be able to produce fashion shows and get paid for it with this type of models. I'm wasting my time. I mean, and this was people that I looked up to. This was people that I studied. This is people that were like big time.
Mm-hmm.
Big time companies that I'm getting a direct connect to talk to, and they crushing every piece of my vision and every piece of my dream. Just say it was a sad day that day. It was a sad day. I could not even finish talking because it just rotated around the table. It's like everybody had a comment on what I was saying, and everybody's comment, no one said go for it. Bump what they saying. Do this on the third. They told me about all the models. They told me about their screening process, why models don't make it to them with people that they actually work with. I mean, it got real crazy. And I was like, okay, well, just give me some feedback of the models that you see. The ones that do fit the requirement. You know what I mean? Because I had them all shapes and sizes. At that point, they didn't even want to see it because they felt like, well, if this is what your company's staying doing, like, we're looking for models that would fit the actual industry requirements. And it was crushing. And it was a decision day for me because I felt like if people that's already in the fashion and modeling industry, that's already at the top, that been doing this thing for years, is telling me, don't reinvent the wheel. If you're going to do you in modeling company, you need to do it based on what the standards are, what the industry requirements are. I'm never going to be able to get work and all of that. It was bad. It was a bad day. But there was something else inside of me. Again, starting my business on the Fearfully and Wonderfully Made, and knowing that God is saying, step out there. This is what I need you to do, you know? And it just took me back to that moment when I started the business, and I said, I can't listen to them. I gotta still go and create my own way. And when I tell you, there was nobody to watch. There was nobody that looked like me. Young Black girl talking about
From Baltimore.
from Baltimore, talking about models of all shapes and sizes. It just wasn't. It just wasn't. I didn't have a blueprint. I didn't have anybody that can show me what to do and what steps to take. You know, so it was like I had to literally create this thing. Prayer, the next step. Prayer, the next step. Literally, I've been walking through the industry blindfolded.
But what's the outcome?
Yes.
Of that particular situation with, you know, in that space being told, fast forward now, what's the outcome?
Forward now. So that was it's 18 years ago now, but at that time, after they told me that, 15 years later, the same company has now hired me and some of my models to either scout production, you know, events that they have, and they still don't know it's me though. They don't know it's me. They don't know it's me. And which is so crazy. This is why people can't give up and you can't listen. The same people that told you you couldn't make it becomes a believer at one point. You just got to stand still and stand firm in what you believe and go after what you believe. But yes, those same big companies are now working with me. And I'm holding off on their name right now because I want to literally hit everybody that said a negative comment. When I tell you, I can remember this vividly, like, oh, this we was at the table yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. 18 years, but this was yesterday, because some stuff really scorn and become a memory for you. But little by little, by one, and then when I get all of them and they're all working with me in some capacity, I'm gonna let them know. Remember when we were at such and such table? Well, you know how God gonna set the table. That's first of all. But when God finished setting the table with all of them again, I'm gonna let them know. Do y'all remember, you know, some years ago? I'm gonna bring them all the way back to that moment. And y'all told me that y'all would never work with me, book me, or my models. Bam, bam, bam. Like, I'm giving it to them. What's gonna happen? And I'm gonna let you know that you gotta be careful of what you say and what you speak over people, especially when people are young in development.
Exactly.
Like you could have been mentors for me. You could have been people I could lean on. You see what I'm saying? But instead, you crushed me. You crushed me and you did damage. And now it's years later, and you guys are working with me in the same capacity you said you never would, and nobody else would.
That's crazy. That's perfect alignment. But again, I talk about when you walk in your purpose, right? Even those no's, or those when them doors close, it's like, ugh. But something that next day is like something sparks and say, okay, let me try this again. That's how you know that is your lane. When you just like, okay, let me try again. Or bump them people. Let me go here. Let me try this. Man, that is amazing. So, you know, in this world of social media, and now everybody has the opportunity to be a model, right?
That's it. Right.
What are some of your pearls or nuggets you can share with people who, you know, just a regular everyday woman or young man? It doesn't even have to be like a gender that is feeling pulled by this, because fashion and models it's always a canvas like
Yeah.
that is created like
Mm-hmm.
we based off of somebody's creativity, whether it's clothes or makeup,
Mm-hmm.
hair. A model is a canvas that you take and you intentionally build for a
Yeah.
purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And social media, same like social media is constructed for people to present themselves in the way that they want the world to see them.
Exactly.
And it's fucking up the psyche. Like
Mm-hmm.
across, it's messing up society, the whole thought process. People
Yeah.
just all weird about stuff now.
Yeah.
So, what are like some pearls or some nuggets that you can share to you know validate that it is okay to be you in whatever way you are showing up in the world every day, and like stop feeling as if
Yeah.
you need to follow some social media algorithm.
Absolutely. So that's a loaded. That's it's so loaded what you just said because when people really realize get into a space that they can hear their self. They have to get into a space where they block out distractions. They really just shut it down, turn your phone off for some hours, really have some time with yourself because you have to be clear of who you are so you can know exactly how you show up in the world, how you're going to show the serve the world, whatever that may be. And sometimes it can take a while for you to keep uncovering, okay, well, who am I? What am I supposed to do? What is my purpose? But it's going to be something that's going to ring inside of you, something that you can't do without, something that you find yourself. I keep coming back to this. I gave that up, but I keep coming back to this. Those things are connected to your purpose. And the other thing is really believing in your inspired thoughts. When you have an idea,
Oh,
like you have to, you got to take that idea and be like, let me just see what's going to happen and understand that everything is going to come against you before you actually accomplish it. So when you know these things are coming already, you got to still be like, I need to see what's on the other side. You know what's on this side if you don't do it. You know it, but you don't know what's connected to your purpose and who you are connected to. So if you don't go out and do the idea, somebody that was connected to that idea now don't have this opportunity. You know what I mean? Or however you serve it or however that you are helping. And then knowing that, okay, I can do it. And even if I mess up, it took how many tries for electricity? How many tries? And when you think about that, it's like, okay, sometimes you're not going to get it right. And that's okay, but still keep going. And then I got a pull from like some speakers that I really, really love. Everybody know Les Brown. One of the things he say is keep your commitments to your commitments. And that is so loaded. When you said you was going to do that thing, when you prayed about it, when you stepped out on faith, you can't give up now.
exactly. What's the point of having faith? There's no
Exactly.
point.
It
That's the
was
whole point of faith.
exactly. Exactly. So
Man.
keeping your commitments to your commitments. And another thing that stands out to me, that Jack Canfield say is when they say no, you say next. Just that little light switch of a change in your mind. When the word no come, you say next. Don't get caught up on the no because sometimes the no can be not right now.
Yep.
Not right now, or it could be a solid no. Or what
Yeah.
about the no that I got years ago and then 15 years later is a yes?
Yep. And they don't even know.
And they don't even know, right? So sometimes your no can mean next.
Yep.
And getting that out of the way. And on a sales statistic, you say it takes 10 no's before you get a yes. So if you're on no number 6, you ain't even get the 10 yet.
Exactly.
Keep
Exactly.
going till you get your yes.
And one thing that keeps me grounded is knowing there's about 7 billion or 700 billion, some crazy ass number of people in the world. right? Like some number that we can't even quantify. And so I'm like, okay, I got 699 billion more people I need to get to. Like,
there you go.
next,
There you go.
next.
We're not gonna run out of people.
Exactly. Never. And money never stops either. That's why it's called currency, because it just keeps going. And you got to get into the flow with it. Whoo!
Exactly.
So, right, let's talk about, so, minding my damn business is some pillars that support this brand and this vision. You touched on solitude is one, purpose, faith, but distractions are big. Like, we're all distracted. So, like, talk about some of the, I feel like we all have distractions.
Absolutely.
The difference with successful people is they know when, they're conscious of it, and they know when to pull it back and float on to the next thing. So what are like some of your distractions?
Yeah, well, first I wasn't disciplined. At one point I wasn't disciplined. And it's one thing to receive a no, but it's another thing if you're the person saying no. So it took me a long time to start saying no. No, I can't come to this event. No, I can't do this project. No, I'm not going to be able to do that. No, I can't. Because me saying yes to all these things were overloading me, overwhelming me. Because I'm like, well, I got to do this for her. I got to do this for him. I got to go over here. I got to go over there. So learning how to say, be the person that said no. And not being disciplined was my early on distractions that I had to really get in line with. So no, I can't go. I don't care how many times I gotta say it. No, I can't go. No, I can't do it. You know what I mean? That they were my distractions because I was out everywhere. Then I come back home and I'm loaded with work. Because I did this and that and this and that for other people. So early in, that was my main thing. So I was able to get that discipline. And then like right now, it turned into my everyday that I have going on with my clients because I pour so much out into everybody that I work with. Like literally, I want to see everybody succeed. So I pour so much out to who I work with that it's hard to balance my personal stuff, like my personal things, because I'm all into everything they got going on and I'm their number one cheerleader and I'm giving them work and I'm following up and I'm this and the third, where it's like, oh, but I got a whole list of things too.
You got a whole husband, you got a whole daughter.
Yeah, exactly.
You got a whole mama.
Exactly. And businesses.
Right, businesses.
Right. You know, so that would be, if I had to say a distraction right now today, and it's not like it's a bad distraction,
right?
You know, but it's like finding the balance for myself.
Yep. Yeah. Because that self-care is important too. Because you going, and then universe will drop a whole brick upon your head and sit you down and be like, hold on, take a break.
Yep. When your body needs rest, it needs rest. I'm telling you, I'm just coming off of going to bed 3-4 o'clock in the morning to all last month, my bedtime midnight. And then starting now, it's 11 o'clock. Like I'm trying to make myself, you got to know when you got to put some discipline in order.
Exactly. Exactly. So what are your rituals? Because, again, in this busy, distracted world, we're trying to find balance. We're trying to get bags and, we have to stay like grounded, to prepare and be able to take on that next venture or wake up and try it again. What are some of your rituals?
Definitely prayer. But outside of that, or addition to that, is standing on a scripture. So depending on what I'm up against, finding a scripture that's already the end all to it of, encouraging, standing on faith, knowing everything is going to be okay. I like to take that scripture, study it, learn it by heart. And every time I get those thoughts now, I say those scriptures. So that's one.
Yes.
The other one is personal vows. like really making that promise to myself and going all the way in, like mirror everything, like it's me against me, like this is what we about to do, but we gonna make this vow. Like this vow is, whether it's a business, whether it's something personal, but vowing to myself and making myself that promise is another ritual. And then one that just literally, I would say in this last year that I had to start making is I'm celebrating my wins. So I was a person that when I say kept going kept going, like from one thing to the next thing, from the one accolade to the next success, to the next this, to the next goal, to the checking these things off my list, to never being like, good job. Oh, you made it. Oh, you did it. Like that was just never happened. No, all right, Danielle, good job. I just never did it. And then I look back and it's like all of these different things that happened in my life that I never celebrated because I was on to the next goal. I was on to the next thing. Exactly. Where it's like, so now taking the time to celebrate my wins, no matter how big they are, no matter how small they are, it's so I got it down so much now that everybody I work with, all of my clients, I'm like, we're gonna celebrate this win. Nope, you're gonna learn how to celebrate yourself right now. Let me hear you say congratulations, good job, or you did it, you made it, because we don't.
Yep. And that's so important. I'm so glad you shared that, because I've struggled with that, myself. And like you said, starting, like I am in this humble place where, but then when I look on the walls and like all the citations and stuff I've gotten from senators and like looking back on the celebrity pictures and everybody I've met, like, but now I'm just starting to like stay like in that moment, be like, damn, bitch.
Right.
Hang clap with yourself. So yeah, you have to take that time to stop, celebrate, even if it's just like, I love pizza. Let me go run and get me a pizza real quick, because I did the damn thing this week. Yeah. And I deserve a pizza.
Gluten free for you though. Gluten free.
Gluten
for you.
Exactly. See? Man, okay. What inspires you?
What inspired? Well, first, who I would say family for sure, because I can't say what without putting some who into there. But my family is very inspirational to me. My husband, my mom, my daughter, like my family in general. I always can pull energy and inspiration and motivation from them. Also, another thing is energy, like magnetic energy is really good, the kind that is like, okay, you really attracting these things to you, and you can feel somebody else's energy and their excitement and their emotion and that feeling. So that's something else that really inspired me. I can encounter somebody that really matches my energy. It's a whole nother
that's
level. You know what I mean? You get somebody to really match your energy, that thing is so absorbent. It fit like a puzzle piece. It's like an incubator. It just gas you up,
People don't understand. And like last week's episode was last two episodes was all about energy. I brought my friend Whitney on, who's a psychic medium and an energy worker. But people just don't understand that whole energy component. And you always hear, like, you'll see on a meme on Facebook that be like, oh, don't share your wins, or don't share your vision with people, because like, no, you sharing it with the wrong people. Because the people who match your energy, they're going to celebrate you, they're going to want to push you, they're going to make the connections, they're going to give you the phone number or the introduction. So if you out here feeling like you need to hold back on the stuff that you're doing, you need to get in another room, because you in some whack ass rooms, and you're too old to be with whack ass people.
Also inspirational for me too is success stories. Not just the ending, the journey of this success story. I mean, correct that. The journey of the success story to see that somebody went through this and went through that and they was resilient and they kept going and this and that. Like that right there,
Yes.
it inspires me like crazy.
Yep. Man, I'm so glad you came to hang out with me tonight. How can everybody follow you?
Huh?
How can everybody follow you or keep in touch with
you? They can catch me on any social media platform under the Danielle Baker. That's THEE Danielle Baker. You can go to my website, thedaniellebaker.com or modelbehavioruniversity.com. So definitely reach out, show some love, you know.
Yes, follow my girl, y'all. Follow my girl. So look, man, time just goes by so fast when you have
I miss
we're definitely gonna get you on again to chit chat. Like maybe give us some type of lessons on catwalking and Naomi walking and how to just be confident, right?
Okay. Yes.
But look, I always end by saying, stop standing by watching other people win.
Yeah.
Get that ass to work and mind your damn business. And drink your damn water, please.
Yes, thank you, B. I miss you. I love you.
Love you too, girl. Stop standing by watching other people win. Get to work and mind your damn business. And drink your water.